Hi everyone, I'm Dego, and today I'm going to be talking about this new program that I downloaded. It's not new, but it just came out to the public, called NVidia Canvas. Basically what it does is it allows you to basically paint a picture, and it will sort of transcribe it into a landscape. So I'm going to just do a practice run here. So you can add many layers, and I usually make the back layer the sky. And then we can actually make, I don't know, for the second layer, a few like mountains maybe. So let's make them big at the back. Let's make them a little bit larger there and there. And you can see there, like, it's foggy. That's because we have the sky at the bottom. So now if we fill it out, it looks like actual mountains. So that already looks amazing. So let's do something on this front panel. And let's draw some hills. Let's see how this looks. By panel, I mean layer. That looks pretty good. So basically it's some mountains in the back, then some hills. Let's draw some water here. Might as well. Let's see. So this is just water. Let's do a river first. Let's see how that looks. Let's try something maybe like this. No, that looks absolutely terrible. It looks something like that. No, that looks bad too. Let's see something like that. So it's trying to start it from there, but I'm not too sure about that. So maybe if I move it at the back, something like that, maybe. That doesn't look too convincing, so I'll get rid of that. This looks actually so good already that I'm not really sure how to make that look better. Oh, I guess you can make a waterfall there. That's pretty cool. But no, let's not do that. Maybe something like this. That looks a little bit more real. Okay, so this is basically a program that lets you basically paint whatever you want on the left, and on the right it will basically use your RTX card, graphics card, and use its AI cores, tensor cores is what they call them. And it'll basically use a bunch of data that it downloaded. I think it downloaded like, I don't know, 2 gigs or 1 gig or something. And I'm guessing it's using that data to a bunch of maybe libraries, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure, so I'm not going to go in depth into it. But basically, it can do really cool things just like this. And the best feature, I think, is this. You can click on different styles, and this basically, I think, is using different data sets, and it's seeing which one would be the best one to use. And I think for what we're looking, so we can basically say, okay, it's going to be, I don't know, foggy. This is like a tropical thing. This is like a super saturated, I don't know, like a Banff picture. This is supposed to be like a sunrise or sunset sort of thing. This is supposed to be like with a little bit of fog there. Maybe I can show you an example of that. This one's like a little bit more higher contrast but less saturated. This is supposed to be at night, but sometimes it shows light at the top, so I'm not sure about that. This is with the light, I think, coming normal to the, normal and perpendicular to the surface here. And this is a little bit more sharpening. So I think I think this one looks like the most real, maybe. So I'll stick with this one. So you can make different layers, and the layers will show up. So you can see how big of a difference that is. If you get rid of the mountains, that makes a huge difference. And this guy is already automatically at the back for us. So let's look at all these materials that we have available. What they call materials is basically just the colors that get transformed to something real. So we have the sky, so that's the automatic sky, but you can actually use the sky just, I don't know, to cover anything up. So if I want to, oh, I'm in the back. Oops, forgot about that. So I'm just pressing Control Z to go back, but you can also use these things on the side. You can make a line, you can draw, you can use the eraser, the fill tool. You can use the eyedropper to get whatever material you were using, and you can move it around. And we will actually start drawing here. So we have the sky, so we can see here, you can basically draw a sky on it. And that's what it would look like. You can also draw on here, but it's kind of slow at updating, so I prefer to draw on here on the left. You can add clouds, and I should have. But it's hard to see the clouds actually in this mode. Maybe if we change to this one, yeah, there you can see clouds. The clouds are like look pretty good actually on this, so I highly recommend that. What else do we have? We have grass, so just do that, and we can, I think that looks more real, but I think I have to maybe make it look better, convincing. So that's grass, so you can just add basically plains. Hills are kind of like grass, but they're supposed to look like this arch sort of shape, because if you actually draw the grass in this shape, it looks very odd. I've tried it before. Maybe I can show you another example later. The stones look actually pretty nice in many different scenarios, so I recommend those. That is weird, but in some scenarios they actually look really cool. Then you have mountains, which we tried. Again, if we're on this style, the bottom left one, we can actually make a maybe I can show you the snow covered mountains there at the top, but it's a little bit harder to see that. Maybe, yeah, that's too much. Let's see if I can put like a little dot of snow there. Yeah, we added some snow there and some snow there, but it doesn't look too convincing, so let's not do that yet. We can add trees, so or a forest is what they call it. So you can add a bunch of forests here, and that looks pretty good, I guess. Oh, there you go. That looks pretty good, I think. Sand, so you can make a few beaches, and actually with this river bank I can add like a little sandy thing. There you go. We can add, well, snow, as we saw. You can see as soon as you add a little bit of snow, the whole area changes to include snow. So obviously it doesn't like snow being in the middle of something that looks like this. So sea, I think, is easier if I actually show you. River is what we actually we didn't draw a river. I can't actually tell the difference between river and water, but we'll see later. Gravel looks pretty nice actually sometimes, but it looks better on a harsher environment. There's fog, which I was never really able to make look nice. I mean, that sort of, I guess, looks nice, but it just looks like a blur, so I'm gonna not use that. And then there's this stone wall thing where I also wasn't able to make look too good. From the image, it looks like it's something man-made, but it just looks like cliffs. Or maybe I'm using it wrong. Maybe it actually is a stone wall, a man-made stone wall, like those that you see on the side of the road in UK. You know, those, like, instead of fences, or they just use those stone walls. So there's a lot to really see here, and there's a lot of these modes that make everything look different. And I think I like these darker ones because they hide a lot of the inaccuracies of the picture and make it look a little bit more real. The ones I really do not like are these bottom two, especially this one at the bottom right. It's way too saturated. It does not look real at all. So let's make a new one. Let's make a. I was planning to make this Windows XP thing, but I can imagine that being actually quite tough to do. So let's not do that. But let's start off. Let's make an island with a sea around it. So let's make a sea. So made the brush very large, and you can see that looks like a sea. And actually, to see the difference between river and sea, I think river is a little bit brighter, but I'm not sure, right? So let's add a little bit of sand here. Now, sometimes it does not look great. So you got to be really careful with what you really do. So something like that does not look good. But if I make it flatter, maybe. So that still doesn't look good. That kind of sucks. Actually, let's make a new layer and draw on that. So I think this looks a little bit better. So again, sometimes it's kind of picky with what it thinks it should show. So I'm gonna undo that, and I was able to make a successful island before, but sometimes it's just not meant to be. So I'm going to make it very thin. There we go. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's just too thick, too wide. Let's make, yeah, just something like that. And then we can add like a little forest, and by forest I mean like a few trees up there, and maybe, well, we have a beach. Let's add some grass. So, okay, so I think I got the idea here. Let's, again, add sand, but make it a little bit larger. And let's add some grass here. That does not look great, does it? Maybe it's just not meant to be. Not for this one. Maybe the water has to be lower, so I'm going to actually restart and make the sandy beach first. Let's add a little bit of grass here and some trees. There you go. And let's add water here at the top. here at the bottom, I mean. Let's add C. So that sort of looks like an island, but not too much. If I erase a little bit of that, looks a little bit better. And that looks like it's hovering. So maybe not. So I wish I had, actually, maybe I do have it. Let's, let's open this up. So this is something I was able to make. I think it sort of looks like an island, but yeah, again, it doesn't look too great. So I will tell you that this image is 512 by 512 pixels. So it's not large, it's not the biggest size, but I think it sort of gives you an idea of what to expect with this. So let's make something else. Actually, let's try to make this. So it's a hill. So it's a hill, sort of like that, and it sort of smooths out, and it just keeps going here at the front. So there we go. It looks much closer. Which one looks? It is quite saturated. So maybe we can make a more realistic image by using this. I think this one. We have a few clouds up there, so let's do that. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So that's a cloud. I think we can just have a few more. There we go. There's like some more over there. Also, I realized that I should not have drawn the clouds on this layer, so let's make another layer. Let's draw the clouds on this layer. So that looks sort of fine, I think. Let's put it at the back. Actually, not that far. And let's put here at the behind that a little mountain, because you can see there's a little mountain there. Oops. Yeah. So let's use that mountain. There we go. That sort of looks like that mountain, maybe. Maybe a little bit less tall. So let's erase a bit. But now, that mountain, does it have snow? No, I think it's just trees, so that's fine. Now, I think that's it. There's some dandelions down there, but and also I took this image just from a random website, so I'm not actually sure if this is the right one. I don't really remember this part of it. So there it is. That's the basics. But you can see here that the grass actually looks different than hills, right? If I, oops, there we go. Oh, I'm still in erase mode. There we go. If I draw a hill, well, that looks weird. But if I draw a hill, let's make a new layer. Let's draw the same thing, but as a hill. There we go. So this is a hill, and this is grass. So you can see how it's a little bit different. The hill is maybe a little bit less grassy. Cool thing is that if you add some gravel here, you can make this hill a lot drier, which is pretty cool, I think. You can add some rocks here and there to make it look a little bit better, but let's get rid of that. We go back to the original, and here if we add a little speck of snow, we can see how everything starts accumulating snow. So let's add snow there, there. Maybe not. Let's make it big. So there it is with snow. It looks pretty cool, right? And add a little bit of fog there at the back, maybe. Kind of detracts from the clouds. Let's see. Water never works for me. So let's see if it works. Water doesn't work for me when there's snow, which I guess makes sense. Maybe it's actually trying to make like an ice rink or something. Yeah, maybe not. That looks weird. Looks like a trench. So that's the basics of this. I think it's a powerful tool. For now, there's not too much you can do with it. I think it's kind of useful to be able to try to maybe have an idea of what something can look like if you have something in your head. Just draw it out, and if you don't feel like getting reference content from a website, an artist can definitely use something like this to get inspired. So maybe a hill. If someone's looking for a hill with I don't know, a gravel road, maybe not like that, maybe something like that, and a stone wall here, maybe not. Now see, the stone wall just doesn't, that looks weird, but maybe it's right. I don't know, just doesn't look right, especially because if you draw stones like that, I guess these are stone bricks. These are like just random stones floating around. And then another question I have still is, what's the difference between the river, the sea? See, this is a river. This is the sea. So I can understand that difference, but then what's the difference between river and water? So let's make a water and river. Water, river. I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe water. I don't know. It kind of bothers me to not be able to really understand that. But you can make nice patterns here. Like you can see with this sand, you can make the whole thing feel a lot more arid. And these clouds, sometimes you can make them look really nice and puffy. If you do that. That looks like a puffy cloud. That looks like a puffy cloud. And you can even do cool stuff like this. So let's erase the clouds. You can write something like okay, it didn't work there, but promise sometimes it works, sort of. That didn't work either. Okay, let's try with this. No, it's just trying to put together things. Who knew? Maybe the lake one was the sorry, not the lake, the river stuff is the one that best works for me in this situation. So yeah, it doesn't work. But I just think it's a really cool tool, and I just can't believe how far AI has come. I remember looking at the demo for this on YouTube, like I think it was 2 years ago now. But I think NVIDIA is doing some great work there in their research, especially since we get access to, like the public gets access to this. That means, and this was 2 years ago, AI advances so quick that nowadays, like if we see something, it's probably already old, and seeing something old means that there's something like much newer out there. Obviously, there's a bunch of AI papers out there, and a lot of other stuff like the papers that you see are already old in this field, just because it's moving so quick. So it's just super cool, and I can't wait till something like this can be done at a much higher fidelity. Also, the resolution is 512 by 512, but it looks like, yeah, like a poor camera took it. I'm not complaining, this is amazing, but I just can't wait till these images can be made in like a better way. But this is just amazing, and all these advancements that we're seeing can really propel what computers can do. So well, thanks for joining me on this journey, and hopefully NVIDIA release more things like this, because I've really enjoyed this, and NVIDIA broadcast too, to make to get rid of your background and get rid of your like voice, like noise on your voice, on your microphone, and it's really cool what they've been doing. I mean, other companies are also doing that sort of stuff, but they're sort of tackling a lot of different issues. They have a large front, and they're doing a lot with AI, which is really cool. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully we can see something like this very soon. Goodbye.